Minecraft Civilizations, the game mode where large amounts of players form huge teams and defend their land against other teams in hardcore mode. In this server, we had 400 players split across 5 unique biomes on a huge custom map. This time, they would have the added twist of reduced maximum enchantment levels, and a god who would reside over each team to both moderate it and reward players for completing various team-related tasks and goals, even the stupid ones. This event was also unique in the way that I returned as a player for the first time in over half a year, leaving the server in the hands of the mod team, which resulted in a lot of trolling and a few differences across the biomes that will be discussed later. Like in previous events, there was a 2-day grace period for teams to prepare before hardcore mode was turned on and the borders between biomes opened. That said, we did see a few friendly border crossings and trades take place for the first time in any server I've hosted. Day 1 would not contain any of those meetings, and instead was spent gathering all the resources and building blocks teams needed to set up basic farms and bases. There was also plenty of time to explore the incredible custom map, which was mostly made by McMedden and heavily modified by me. One of those areas was the Mesa, which I decided to join due to it being my favorite biome in real life, and the fact that I live near a few of them. I didn't know nearly everyone on the team though, despite knowing dozens of players on every other team, which put me at a bit of a disadvantage when you factor in the targeting that comes with being the server owner. We initially had a lot of arguing about who would become leader before the event, with several people on my team wanting the best PvPer to be leader. I ended up winning the vote of course, but not after initially losing to a player named BallSniffa341 who took an early lead due to having a funny name, but would fall behind overnight as the kids' bedtimes passed. Despite our team's rough start, the actual event itself was calm, and everyone who showed up got along very well. Other teams had similar stories to share, with the only notable disagreements coming from the Volcano biome. In Volcano, 2 factions had formed and the team had split its players between them, with the majority following the team's elected leader Darkazir, while others in the Viet Cong group made their base elsewhere. Other teams either had no issues or more peaceful divisions within them, such as the Snow biome's Scythers and the Forest biome's Watchers. The Mushroom Farlands biome would be the most unified team of any, and were the only one to hold an election during the server. The winner of that election was a member of the Sea People, who are a group of players who joined different events together, including a previous side event of mine where they built a great ice civilization on a floating island. This time they would set up farms on one of their island's shores and work together with the Pumpkin Cult, who were another group in this biome who had dramatically expanded since last season. Their team's god Arcus Skies encouraged and rewarded players for building pumpkin-based structures, which added a unique theme to their bases. Forest also had a strong theme thanks to its god TruePixel, who required players build horse statues and sacrifice at least 10 horses a day in her honor, though it's safe to say far more were killed than that.
Why are there so many horses? Jesus Christ!
The Forest biome's journey would start at both of their 2 spawn points, but they would be the only team to settle in the east half of the map when it came to base building. They first started their day by setting up farms and a temporary storage facility at one spawn point, with additional farms and a few builds at the other one. They were also the only team to change leaders in this event, with the original leader Exernal giving the crown to Ace of Royal Suits later on in the event due to not being able to participate. One of their bordering nations, the Snow biome, largely consisted of a group of PvPers known as the Scythers, many of whom were the same players who fought in the epic castle siege of my previous event. They were initially split off from the rest of the biome, but would unite as a team later on. The majority of all Snow players set up farms and individual builds around their second spawn point in the northwest corner of the map. Mining would be the main focus of the Scythers, while setting up and managing farms was primarily done by other Snow players. These roles would continue into the next day, as all teams rushed to prepare for the opening of borders in their own ways. One of the unique ways a couple of teams prepared was with boss fights hosted by their gods. In the Mushroom Farlands case, this was a battle against their mod himself and an army of undead mobs at his side. Boss fights of this nature were done with Curse of Vanishing Armor as to avoid giving out too many overpowered items, but not all teams would have these boss fights at all, leaving them at a slight disadvantage. Mushroom would also face a different type of enemy, as one of their players was caught repeatedly stealing and given a kill on sight order in response. That player was hunted down by Lunari and a group of fighters before being jailed and put on display by their god inside their main base. This same type of situation occurred in the Mesa several times, but was easily held in check by our god Monty, as it was initially not much of a problem over the first 2 days. A lot of Mushroom's players were builders, which quickly became noticeable when looking at their choice of a base location. They decided to create a treehouse of sorts that wrapped around and within one of their Farlands-themed pillars, surrounding it with farms on all sides. Other teams were also in the middle of base building, who all chose to build structures around high points within their biomes. Forest and Snow both had mountaintop bases, while Mesa had a hilltop fort overlooking its spawn and farm areas. Volcano predictably built around the top of their volcano, and made it clear that looks were a priority. Due to this heavy focus on decorations, their mod god gave out several stacks of building blocks each day, and swapped out players' cobblestone for blackstone to give the volcano a nether-like theme. These base building efforts were primarily led by O-Rider, who was also known for putting an emphasis on looks when he built the End Realms base in Season 2. Another player started construction on a very ambitious project, bringing both a meme and a cool statue to life over the next 4 days. That player named I Am Mindless was able to focus heavily on building thanks to good teamwork by other players bringing him leftover stone for mining. Another notable effort was being made by a returning player named Warrior 101, who was building a skybase above the map's volcano for the second season in a row. Everyone's projects here continued throughout the next days, but this would not be the last cool thing they did on day 2. First, other teams such as Forest continued their own base building efforts, as they had more normal days than other teams. Forest God TruePixel continued to reward and troll her players as they pursued base building and mining, while also making the occasional effort to troll me along with the rest of the mod team. This included setting off nukes in a cave which nearly killed me and a teammate, though Mango Milker also set off a nuke that did kill me and 3 other players. Every team experienced a little bit of tomfoolery, which mostly targeted returning players, while players who were caught X-raying or hacking in other ways were given no restrictions as to how to deal with them. I didn't have as much to show from both the Forest and Snow teams since they mostly focused on mining and gearing up, though Snow would see some new individual builds pop up from some of the casual Civ players. We had a similar situation in the Mesa, where base building and getting players enchanted up was the main priority. We had a lot of chill players in my biome who were less concerned with worrying about wars and more concerned with having a good time, which was a big surprise to both me and the mod team after seeing a lot of arguing before the event started. Some of those players would join me at the end of the day as we traveled to meet Volcano for a business deal. A couple of Volcano players had reached out to me about trading for our gold commonly found in the Mesa, so we agreed to take a handful of players alongside our leaders to meet up at the sky build limit atop the barrier border between us. My group got there first and anxiously waited for the others to show up with the few mods watching us, and one teammate repeatedly messaging me, saying that I was going to get killed.
What would happen if I killed him?
I think some bad things would happen.
Can I hit him down there? Can I smack him back down?
Hey, welcome. How many...
Also, here's a present.
You guys, did you throw... Oh, you did throw us a team banner. Alright. How many apples do you guys have, though?
We didn't bring apples. We brought crossbows.
Yeah. Oh, okay. How many crossbows? Oh, that's a bunch.
Oh, nice.
Alright, here, you can take 50 gold.
Thank you. That means a lot. So how, before we all end this, you know, I do respect your battle efforts. How has Mesa been? I haven't heard too much. I've heard about Snow, but I haven't heard much about Mesa.
Mesa, we had a few people just now team killing each other at the base, so I'm gonna have to get back and deal with that. But it's been fun. My team's really chill.
That's a shame. I actually am a big fan of your banner. It's very. Some just hate you. Okay, can these guys...
Stop. This mod's like punching us for some reason. Anyway, server closes in 10 minutes though, so we should probably get back.
Yeah, server does close into... I'll handshake you, Cody.
Okay.
Wait, Cody, I have a quick question. Does that mean that we'll be able to openly travel to Mesa?
Yeah,
and, like,
for sure.
Alright, bet.
With the trade having been a success and team banners exchanged, we each went our separate ways to prepare for the end of the day. For me, this would be a little different than anyone else, as rumors and secret plans to kill me had the entire mod team convinced I would be the first to die on day 3. To get around this, I decided to trust the players who showed enthusiasm throughout and before the event, and be suspicious of players who traditionally played with certain groups of others who were alone on my team. One of those players was the one DMing me to try and stop the trade deal, who also followed me around constantly and acted weird for the last 10 minutes of the day, confirming my suspicion that he would jump me at server open. So in a final act of preparation, I messaged 5 of the teammates I trusted to meet me at the castle where I logged off, And when the server opened the next day, I had everyone follow me downstairs to make sure that the traitor couldn't escape. Killbird Television, Killbird Television, Killbird Television. He's a traitor from Scythers. Got him! Alright, good work, good work, good work. We killed the traitor.
Can I have some of his stuff?
No.
After apologizing to Aeson several times for accidentally lava bucketing him, I thanked everyone who joined me in my defense and let them keep 100% of the traitor's loot. No other team's leaders had to deal with assassinations, but a mushroom spy would soon be caught in the snow biome. A group of snow players chased the mushroom spy but were unable to eliminate him before he returned to mushroom territory and met up with a group of friends. Not wanting to start a war, the snow players gave up the chase and left to return to their own biome. This added to tensions that already existed between the snow and mushroom biomes, or the sea people and Scythers specifically. This also caused the mushroom players to spend the entire day at their base, worried about an attack that never came. Snow meanwhile spent the day focusing on themselves and trying to unite their team before going into any wars with other biomes. Going to war was always the game plan for the Scythers, who had exclusively spent their time gearing up, only pursuing relations with a small group of watchers in forest. Once their mountaintop base was complete, they hosted a party inside of it at the end of the day. The Forest team, however, had been sharing their main base despite some of the players in the Watchers group not quite being a part of the team since they had set up some side alliances with Snow players. Forest had a very peaceful day 3 and was able to continue focusing on their goals without any worries. It also helped that they were gifted 2 mob spawners by their team's god, one of which was a creeper spawner. Neither were supposed to have been given out, but thankfully the gunpowder from it didn't really impact the game. The experience points, however, would no doubt help them. Other teams didn't get this type of gift, though Mushroom got a few tridents and Volcano got a bunch of building blocks. Mesa would mostly be preoccupied with having items robbed and a couple of players team killing at random times, which included one player who was caught attempting to knock someone off a bridge and was jailed before a vote was held to determine his fate. Our team's god Monty had been trying to keep the peace throughout the event and pushed us to forgive this potential traitor. Volcano was able to actually use the blocks they were given, as their incredible builds continued. They also spent a lot of time constructing an enormous lava wall on all sides of their base, and continued to show what team building efforts can accomplish. A few Volcano players who were not a part of the main team randomly showed up in Mesa at around server close. Those players claimed to be wanting to seek passage and to explore the biome, which we granted under the condition that they don't step foot in our main base. After several minutes of them not moving, a lot of my teammates changed their minds and became bloodthirsty, leading us to attack them and take their gear for ourselves.
Can we get permission to kill this guy?
We should take this. We should take this fight. This is an easy fight.
Shooting at them.
I'll take those damage any day. Yeah, let's kill them.
Alright, then let's go in. Let's go in then. Let's go in.
Why
What are the coordinates?
They're at the dam, the big wall.
We're not gonna get anything. Yes, boosting. I'm boosting. Don't worry, I'm boosting.
Wait, that's
Yeah, I
a
did
team
that.
kill. Mason.
Amazing. Oh, he died. Oh my god.
Did he? Actually? Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Rush. Go
Oh, yeah, I
right.
shot his boat right when he...
Okay, bring me,
I'm
go,
2v1ing,
go.
I'm 2v1ing.
I'm with you.
Oh,
Can
I
anyone update me on the coordinates?
Someone
Who
bring
is
them
this guy?
No. Rush.
Yeah, boats.
What are
No, it's
your
not both,
coordinates?
Wait, kill Huskar.
No.
Killed another person.
We're chasing people.
Don't kill him. He
We're stuck in the boat.
Why is this guy invincible?
The boat's stuck.
This guy's invincible somehow.
He's shooting. Watch out,
This guy is invincible.
No. Monto is squeaking. Can you break up boat, bro? It's glitched.
We had a very busy day 3 in the Mesa, and even had another group of players who approached us right before this incident, though nothing ended up happening. That first situation was a lot scarier than the last one due to who was potentially attacking, which included 2 returning players who had left the team. Not much happened in the other biomes, but this would change dramatically on day 4. Day 4 would be the day of multiple invasions and wars, as the snow biome wasted no time in marching on their traditional rival of many events, the sea people of the Mushroom Farlands. It was obvious to everyone that there would be a fight between these 2 groups at some point, but due to the Mushroom players expecting the attack on day 3, not many of them were at their main base when snow invaded, resulting in a scramble to assemble there while reports of invaders across their ocean poured in, along with a few deaths.
Water fight!
I'm sweating out of my arm.
Yeah, you see the bamboo? That's their base.
we're in the base.
And let's go in.
Into the base!
Nothing
Kill them all, brothers!
Guys, to our left.
Get this guy, he's
Give us
clean.
Serbia, he's so low. Okay, that was an easy kill.
With the majority of Mushroom players not at their base, the attack by Snow was a rapid victory, which continued in the form of boat patrols around their islands. Later, Mushroom's leadership would tell me that it actually would have been better if they were attacked the day before, because they were ready for it and expecting it then. One thing I didn't know was that Volcano's leader Dark is here attempted to defend Mushroom, taking only his guards with him as the rest of his team was unwilling to join the fight. The biggest goal of Dark was to unite as many biomes as possible, which resulted in a peace agreement between Mushroom and Mesa, stating that an attacked team could retreat to the other if things went bad. This resulted in a few individuals falling to Snow's boat patrols as they attempted to travel to Mesa. Snow players had also gotten word of this alliance, and decided to send a diversionary force to Mesa that mostly consisted of former Mesa players and traders who showed up at the same time the invasion of Mushroom started, claiming to be looking for items. Me and my team already knew the players they were planning to betray, so when we saw another known suspect show up to our base for the first time in days, it was really obvious what was going to go down next.
Cody, take a yonder behind you.
My fellow stickman.
Oh yeah, I see, it's the other guy. Okay, this makes sense. Should we take care of that option first?
It's Argus Ritz.
Yeah.
Behind you?
Who's he?
Let's take care of that
Close
first.
attacking me.
Yep, just Mine Pro is a traitor.
Close attacking me.
I died. It's unfortunate.
Alright, kill the forest guys, they're here to betray.
Everyone come to the dam. Everyone come to the dam.
That's right.
Kill the horse, get the horse.
Fortunate.
I'm not putting away my golden apple is safe. I recommend going into the lava tower, swimming up, and taking a flying machine. Team killing is...
Now I have the POV of the witch. They're just doing potion. How no one killed them yet?
Oh, Cody, there's more. Cody, you gotta dip, bro. Use your pearl or something.
Alright, dude. You got this extra.
You're swimming up. Okay, I don't want to be followed.
I'm actually stuck in a dead wall. This game is stuck. So I died because
No!
I'm stuck in a wall.
After a long battle, a few of my teammates died, so us two who were left decided to return to our nearby base for backup, but when we got there, we found nothing. Everyone had left, which I later learned was the result of a few players betraying the team there, as that group went around killing confused players who didn't expect it.
Ball sniffer just killed
Everyone
me.
come to the dam. Everyone come to the dam.
Yeah, a ball sniffer killed me.
Close to us attacking me.
My pearl did not work.
Okay, they are going up my tower. I'm using my flying machine and it's working wonderful.
I myself continued pursuing the creeper dude, thinking he had to be running out of golden apples at some point, but eventually I was the one who started running low on food. With my teammates fleeing the area and my own supplies running out, I decided to boat away and was pursued by two of the attackers. I then decided to try and reach Volcano, where I knew allies of mine would take me and other Mesa players in. As I was chased, a few mods watched and a bunch of Mushroom players cheered me on as Snow players joined the pursuit. I got the idea to take advantage of the Respiration 3 enchantment on the King's Crown and go underwater to shake off the attackers in a manhunt style move, but this was foiled by one of the Snow players having a Riptide Trident.
Creeper dude just killed Cody?
We're gonna start heading southwest.
L Cody.
Yo.
Devin, give me your axe.
Sword cat.
What the fuck are you doing? What are you
by...
No.
Falling to boat patrollers like many players have in my events, I died on the Volcano Island's shores, alone in my efforts to pursue a real alliance with them. Instead, those teammates of mine and Mushroom players were mostly dead, as us leaders along with Dart from Volcano had failed to establish relations that our players largely didn't want. With me out of the way, the Snow Army quickly made their way to Mesa, where they found a nearly abandoned base and none of my teammates.
Riding their own
Onwards,
horses.
brothers!
Look with the kill.
Go boost. Charge.
Instead, they killed the same players who had worked together with their teammates to betray Mesa, because of course they did. I didn't really know what these traders expected since the same process plays out nearly every time, but it was funny to watch as I went back to the usual tasks of flying around and recording.
Is that their base?
Yeah.
Wait, I saw something.
Their base is insane!
Their base is huge.
This is literally something I would build, bro.
While Snow enjoyed taking over Mesa, I went to Volcano and saw their base for the first time and was completely blown away. I just like how the base looks here. Oh, this looks so cool. It's gotta be a throne. Oh, this is so cool. Volcano had been able to pull off such crazy builds thanks to avoiding conflicts and wars. This trait was also shared by Forest, who only had a handful of their members leaving to join Snow on their raids. Forest was able to enjoy the most guaranteed peace on the server due to their alliance with Snow, allowing them to easily focus on themselves. This would soon change for both Forest and Volcano, however, as the 5th day was about to start. Day 5 started with a race of Mesa and Mushroom players scrambling to Volcano Island to seek refuge and join them both before being caught and before an inevitable invasion by Snow. Several Mesa players got there first, but when they did, they would find an unexpected surprise. In a shocking turn of events, the first deaths would not come from outsiders, but instead, a betrayal from within.
Hey, they're attacking. They're attacking.
Viva la revolution!
What?
A group of players led by O-Rider from the Minecraft Civilization's Communist Party within Volcano decided to overthrow their leader and change their leadership style. The reasoning behind this were accusations of being incompetent, not doing enough for the team, and spending too much time taking selfies. That one was actually true. This would soon be seen as Rider throwing, however, as a Forest and Snow Scout were breaking into the base at that very moment. This incredible timing of events caused other Volcano players to think an organized takeover was occurring and flee the base after losing all confidence within the team.
Because they're in the base.
I can see it now. Bloodthirsty kids decide to kill their leader, and then they got murdered by Snow.
Gorilla. The leader's here. It's ready.
Rider, look down. Rider, look down. Rider, they're over here. Fuck's sake. No,
Wow, it's almost like that's exactly what fucking happened, like I said.
Oh my god, shut up.
Mushroom.
I thought there was allied. No.
In the middle of Volcano's collapse, their Mushroom allies finally reached the outside of the lava walls where they found a few enemies to fight, but unfortunately for them, this would be too little, too late.
I'm dead. I am about to die, and I have no water. Oh my god, destroy!
Yeah, we're fighting him. We're not here.
Alright, well we need to join in, so at least we can hold true to our word and not be hated.
I'm so sorry. I legit was gonna fight with you, but stuff happened. Yeah.
2v5? 2v6?
There's one guy running across below, right over there. Yeah. That Cody's flying. Where's that guy though?
That diamond guy.
Oh, we tried, dude.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Oh, you know where they are?
A couple of Snow players did go down, but not in the normal way you would expect, as it was the result of one of their top fighters betraying the team. With the last attempt of the 3 allied biomes taking a stand having failed, there were only 2 powers remaining on the server. Forest and Snow had an alliance of their own that had held together so far, but Forest was growing increasingly suspicious of their neighbor now that they were the only other team left on the server. So while Snow was busy dealing with the betrayal at Volcano, Forest had made the decision to launch a preemptive invasion of their ally.
They're on the other dock. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Get the defender, get the defender.
Kill defender, kill defender, avenge me, kill defender. Take the defender right.
Got one.
Good job, Caroline.
Nice.
Where are you guys at?
We're by the coast.
Defender's down.
Kill the dogs. Everyone regroup.
Under damage.
Jack, where are you?
Where are you? No.
Yeah, they're in the ocean right now. Davs has another trident. Are you joking?
As the battle went on, Forest's assault would turn into a stalemate at sunrise as a result of most remaining Snow players having Riptide tridents, allowing them to easily escape and heal up if needed. Ace of Royal Suits did a good job trying to work around this by telling his players to avoid going into the water where they would have a clear disadvantage. Forest had been able to kill off several more players than they lost, but this eventually changed as the rest of Snow's army arrived.
Chill. They're above us. Listen. Above. Everyone above. Kill Panelin. Kill Panelin.
Wait, let me get a hit. Okay, he's fire aspected now. Ciphers are back.
Something come there. That was on me. My death was maybe.
I can't.
Okay, just don't go after them anymore. Don't go after them. Back up. Oh, I guess Ronk is going in. Kill Jocelyn. They're way too. Kill Alman.
The fight quickly turned into an all-out brawl, prompting Ace to call for a retreat since the situation had become very difficult to manage.
Just get out, yeah. Just get out. Just get out to every direction. Do not engage. No.
It also happened to be very close to server close, which is why Snow didn't pursue the Forest players very far, but they did manage to get one more kill on their way out. By the time Day 6 arrived, 3 out of 5 teams had been reduced to a handful of players scattered across the map in various places. Many of those individuals set up in new biomes they were not originally a part of. This included a few players who made a loot ship their new home, though they would be found by Snow's boat patrols not too long after. While Snow was carrying out these patrols and fighting Forest from the previous day, one Volcano player had been planting TNT inside Snow's farm area at their spawn and blew it all up as revenge.
I kinda really don't have any back.
Once I finish that sacrifice.
The only group who truly survived with all their numbers intact was a joint skybase between Mushroom and Volcano players that was founded by Pumpkin Cult members. They would eventually be attacked, but suffered just one casualty. These players continued to survive until the end of the last day, and were one of the few who were able to do so. Their other teammates, however, would remain underground, attempting to form an alliance of all remaining players of each team against Snow, but most of them would gradually fall to groups of Snow players hunting across the map. A couple of watchers from the forest biome decided to team up with a pair of mushroom players and attack Snow's base, hoping to pick off a few players to put Forest in the lead by player count, as they were currently about even. This resulted in a few long fights and chases, and the deaths of a few of those attacking players. Snow's players were not the type to be on the defensive, which is why they decided to get revenge and take a trip to Forest base where they killed a few isolated players along the way, but didn't find anyone in the base itself. Because of this, they had plenty of time to burn the base to the ground and take team photos there to spite them. Snow would spend the rest of the day hunting down random players, many of whom were on the Forest team. Due to the spread out nature of this, I missed recording most of those fights until it was too late. The attempt at forming an alliance of all remaining players without blue colored name tags had failed, though plenty of those people still survived underground with the goal of preparing for a battle royale on the final day of the server. Due to how nearly 90% of the players in the event were dead by this point, we decided to make Day 7 a final fight between all players inside Volcano's base since it was the coolest location on the map. Actually getting the players who agreed to it to be ready and participate was proving to be very difficult, especially with some of the mods trolling those players at this point. But when we did finally get everyone to the volcano, it was clear that things just weren't working out, so the mod team and myself joined the fight, claiming an easy W for ourselves.
This is just only trolling at this point. This is exclusively trolling.
After this, we brought all those players back to explore and grief the map in creative mode. It wasn't exactly the ending I had expected, but Snow had clearly proven themselves the winners at that point, even if they had completely failed the civilizations aspect of the game. The event definitely didn't go the way I had expected as a player, as I had gotten the true civilization experience of being on a team full of traitors and arguing kids, angry that they lost the leader vote, who would rather sabotage their own team than get over themselves. I wasn't able to accomplish most of the goals I had first set out to do as a leader, but it was still a lot of fun to finally play again. I will never forget the players who joined me during the trade with Volcano and who actually played as a team and helped me deal with betrayals. If participating in events like this is interesting to you, join the Discord below as we will continue hosting these events as long as the channel gets bigger. Soon, we will host another game with a point system to rate civilizations on what they accomplish as a team, but for this event and its rules, the Snow biome was the clear winners of this 400 player server.